Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Angry Cast and Satisfactory. How y'all doing? This is the mess we got going on right now up here on the hill. Oh shit! This was a bad idea. Ouch. We also have this down here, of course, and this is soon to be a stoppage down here because these containers are full almost. I've actually tried to empty them out. I even built a container over here just to hold some of the overflow. And it's just taking me a long time to get stuff in here. But let's run you through what we've done here. So we've got our main iron storage, iron ore, followed by a smelter. It's smelting into iron ingots. And then we're running it here, and it's converting it to iron plates. Now, beyond that, the iron plates will come out here and go into storage down there. There is also a storage container here, which is going to contain iron rods, and a storage container here, which is going to contain screws. Right now, nothing's happening here because I do not have anything hooked up, primarily, because I need to have a splitter. Once I get the splitter, I can take this out of here, feed it over into here to make rods, and feed it over into here to take... Actually, I need to do some stuff here. This is making rods, right? This is making rods. I might have to switch this around so that I can have one of these taking the iron plates and making them into rods, and then from here make rods into screws and also just fire off rods. So what I will end up doing is probably rerouting these plates into this one to make rods, putting a splitter in between to send over here to just going into the storage container with the rods, and then sending the rest of them through here to make screws. That's leg one. Leg two is this here, which is all the copper ore, and the copper ore is just kind of like hanging out because it's not really going that fast because cabling takes a while. And once the cabling gets out, right now it's going into the storage container, which was our original storage container, which then feeds into this storage container. And I know it seemed kind of stupid and redundant, but just go with me on this. Once we've unlocked the splitter, I can take this storage container out, put in the splitter, and send it over to here so that half of the cables, or half of the spools, or whatever, what are they called? Wire. Half of the wire can go into the storage container, and then half of the wire can go over here, which will be used to make cabling. Beyond that, we've got this thing over here, which we're not really going to do much with at the moment. This is just taking our container that has all the limestone in it that I keep filling up, and it's making concrete and putting concrete into here. That's all happening, and I'm letting it do its thing, so it'll have we'll have an ample supply of all those, first level resources of tool, hardware and stuff. Now, I also have a biomass burner set up to power some of these items, as well as the biomass burners we have here. I also have been taking and making biomass out of leaves, and I have probably a pretty decent amount right now, biomass. Now, once I get a way to make solid biofuel, we will take that and then, start making that as a constructor. Because right now, the constructors can do biomass with leaves, but I don't want to take up all that. It just takes up more power. I'm using power to make power, which I guess is sort of how we do things in the world, but I don't want to do it here. Now, as far as these things go, I need to get these trucked up to here in order to complete the circuit. But I'm not ready for that yet. I'll tell you why. Because we want to just get all this stuff up here done so we can unlock some things. And we'll go over that in a moment. Okay. Where our problem lies right now. Again, we have an overarching goal of the objective of building the space elevator, which we really don't need right now. Because we have got to amass a certain amount of resources in order to build the space the space elevator to have all that. I think it's like 1,500 wire just alone, and I have all that, but I don't have all the other stuff just yet. However, we do have these other two tiers that we can start to open up, which is like we've gone through this before: base building, logistics, field research, and then part assembly, outside, obstacle clearing, jump pads, resource sync, bonus program, and logistics. I do want to take care of getting field research because it gets us more storage. It also gets us a couple of these things as well as inventory and a hand slot. I want to get logistics done because we need the conveyor splitter and murders in order to complete all that mess behind us, as well as the efficiency of each building. That would be nice to have. Not going to worry about base building right away. Not yet. But we are going to end up moving at some point, and then that will become important. And then as far as Tier 2 goes, the part assembly, yeah, we're going to have to eventually have this, but not until we're ready to build the space elevator. This is going to be important. Everything else kind of like, not really that much except for logistics 2. So we're going to work on logistics and field research, and then under Tier 2, logistics and obstacle clearing. And with that will be the next thing we do. Alrighty, we are going to need some things, and all of it is in those storage containers. So let's let's go with the Tier 1 logistics first. Get the conveyor splitters. We need 150 plates, 150 rods, and 300 cables or wires or whatever. Wires, not cables. So let's grab a lot of this stuff just from each. Boom. 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 And then sneak around this side. Don't get zapped by the stupid shit over there. Hopefully the chainsaw will help with that. I would love it if that's what it would do. Alright, let's see what we got. Logistics. We've got... Boom. Open. Oh, we have to select the milestone first. Hold down the shift. That's there. That's there. That's there. Oh dear. Well, this is a new thing. Ready for launch. So this, instead of just giving it to the hub and making the hub, it, oh shit. That takes that thing.
Milestone reached.
Whee!
Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation.
It will be back. Don't worry.
The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings.
We'll return in 3.5 minutes.
Optimization.
Unfortunately, that means we can't do anything until we cannot select the milestone. What were we looking at? Obstacle clearing. Select the milestone. So we have to wait. That's the unfortunate part. But in the meantime, we could work on other things. We can set up those conveyor splitters that we talked about and get this thing set up to do the whole rod thing. I mean, like I said, I may need to rejigger this to make sure it works right. But we can definitely do the copper one as well. So let's hold off on that for a second and let me get squared away. Alright, in our first initial step, we're going to take the easy path, and that's to split off the copper production into having our wire and then having it go into here for the cable. So we're going to just give it a little bit. Now it's got, when you do these splitters, they have an orange input and then 2 or 3 blue outputs. So let's just, and I think we're going to have to redo this. Let's take care of this first. Alright, let's get our splitter in. Get that there. And then let's get our conveyor belts figured out. I think if we... Well, that's kind of stupid. Let's, oh, guess what's back? Alright, now those conveyor poles are going to start being added into the mix because of the space that's going to be required and the length that's going to be required. If it's going straight, it's one thing, but when we start putting in those curves and shit, we're going to have some problems.
Milestone exchange concluded.
Yay.
Ficsit freighter re-entry complete.
Nice. Thank you. So I forget how we really do this. We can just do that. That's one way to do it. And then let's continue this on and connect to that. Okay, so that being said, we now have this sucker being set up to do wire into cable, and we have this just feeding the rest of the cable, I'm sorry, the wire back into here. So let's do it the right way. Hold on. I have come to find that when I see that there is something wrong here, it usually involves me having to go through and seeing what was selected. Sometimes I tend to get some copper mixed in with the iron, or vice versa, and so I have to go in here and switch to production to build something like iron versus copper. Then you'll kick out what's in there, and then go over here, and I'm going to have to select recipe and make an iron plate, and then yeah, we can't get that out of there, can we? Can we get that? Okay, we can get that out of there. All right, let's get this back into doing wire. Let's get this back into doing copper, and then we should be good now. We should be good now. Okay, everything's flowing in. It's flowing out. Now let's see the magic happen here. Okay, wires coming out. Wires being split and going in those directions. And now this is being fed into here. It is now making its production of cables that go into here. Okay, now that's wonderful. We've completed first leg of our our massive crap of everything. Okay, so I have a saying that present me hates past me. Hates him with a passion because of all the stupid mistakes he's ever made in his life. Present me hates past me. However, past me is always looking out for future me. Past me is always trying to do the right thing for future me and keep him so he doesn't make stupid mistakes and become past me. Make any sense? Yeah. Past me was nice enough to remember that you need iron ingots to make the rods, as well as iron ingots to make the plates. So the iron ingots will be coming out of the smelter into this constructor and then going over here to do that leg. We're going to move this up a little bit, shorten the distance on that conveyor and spread that out so we can put it in the splitter to bring iron ingots over to here in order to make the rods, and then the rods will then make the screws. Now, that being said, we also have this contraption that's going to make the iron ingots into iron rods. Now, I could have done this and split them both ways, but I didn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to just say, all right, fine, iron ingot's got to be up here. Iron ingot's going to come out of here, and I'm going to split it, send iron ingots into here for iron plating, and we're going to send iron ingots over here for iron rods. And then we're going to put a splitter over here. So I was kind of where I wanted to be. I think I can reduce it. I want to reduce the machinery. So right now I have it set up that we're going to have one constructor doing iron plates, one constructor doing iron rods, and then one constructor doing iron rods to make screws. I don't want to do that. I want to split the iron rods that come out of the constructor to go into a storage container and go into making screws, just like we did with the copper. So I need to rearrange some of this, but I was on the right path. I think I can do it better. I think I can make it better than what I have set up. Alright, I cleared the board a little bit here. We've got our conveyor splitter right here. That's going to send us over to here to make the iron rods. So let's set up the constructor that's going to be here. This is going to be... So we need two more steps. Like, think of this like a grid, which if we had all the base building stuff, we could lay out a grid down here like a real factory floor. But we want to have this right here, this storage container, be our iron rods. So iron rods this will be a conveyor just like the iron plates are going to be right here from a constructor that makes iron rods. However, we want to have it split off those iron rods. I'm sorry, this is actually, over here is going to be the constructor for the iron rods. That's going to be fed from this conveyor splitter over here. And then that will go into another conveyor splitter that will send half of them over here to become iron rods, and half of them over here to be screws. So constructor and constructor. We need 2 constructors, 2 conveyor splitters, and a bunch of conveyors. So let's make sure we can do enough here to. That's going to be our. That's going to be our screw, right? That's going to be screws, making screws. So let's get it right up against it, so we don't have to do much with it. All right, boom. Okay. Now that's making screws. Let's set it up to make screws. All right, make screws. Make screws and put in a conveyor to do over that. Okay. Yeah. Conveyor. Oopsie-doo-doo. There you go. Conveyor. Any screws made will go into there. Now we need to set up the back part of it for this to send all the way over. Conveyor for iron plating, which this is set up for iron plating. And then now we need to do set this up for filtering these things as well. Now we need to set up our second leg, which is going to be into another constructor that goes over here to that to make screws, and this to just put iron rods into the thing. So okay, let's set up another constructor. All right, we can do. I hope this is going to be fine. All right. Nope, not too close. I love that we get it back, though. That's the wonderful thing about it. All right, let's set this up a little bit closer. It's going to be tight. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be tight. As long as we can clear, and I can see that the lines. So, okay. Let's conveyor it. Conveyor. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Alright, conveyor. Now we need, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. Let's shorten the distance on this puppy. Let's go we should have gone this way to begin with. Alright, we need conveyor. Conveyor. Splitter. Right. Up against it. And then have the constructor damn near right up against it. Whoa, I'm a little too close to the things. That seems horrible. But, okay. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll try it. Alright, this is all feeding in just nicely. Now we need to have this. Okay, we're going to just do that. And connect it. It'll work. It'll be fine. Okay, it's not perfect. Alright, let's look at this monstrosity that we've got going on here. Let's get up on top of the world and look down on creation. So now we've got iron comes into here, turns into iron ingots after the smelter. Then splits here, half of the iron ingots come over here to be made into rods, and then that splits off so that half of those iron rods go into the storage container, the other half go into making screws. After that, the other half of the iron ingots go through here, become iron plating, and then go all the way to the end of there. So everything should be fine. So let's turn this puppy back on. Production, boom. Then we need to give this thing a recipe. We need it to make iron rods. Right, iron rods. And then this is going to make screws. Right, and then this is just going to be iron rods coming out of here. And then it's going to be iron plating over here. Iron plating. And then we are out of power. Holy shnikes. Alright, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Where we lose power at? These two are still running. It's the biomass generator. Oh, I don't have anything hooked up. Well, that's because I destroyed everything. I didn't hook anything back up again. Oh, well, shit. Okay. Well, wonderful. And this is gonna probably require another biomass generator, because I figure the way this is going, we've got. Where's our pole at? Where's our pole? That's already got 3 coming out of it. That's already got coming out of it. That's got. Oh my goodness, this is a mess. This is a mess. That's got 2 to 4. All right. Sure. I guess. Honestly, that one up there is probably doing a hell of a lot of work. But it's a biomass generator, just like this one is. That being said, we should probably run around and get all of our biomass generators set up. And then the worst part about all this is that I got to figure out how to get more copper and everything all up from other places right now, and that's going to be fun. Now, later in the game, we can set up trains and trucks and other kinds of and drones to fly everything and drop it off. We are not there yet. I mean, this is the dirty part. Well, I mean, it's all going to be dirty, but this is just the dirty part. Now that we got this kind of figured out, we're going to have this become a more efficient process somewhere else. But it's not going to be these things. These things are still going to be doing what they're doing to make these little itty-bitty parts, plates, cables, wires, all that stuff. Those things will be pulled from here and condensed into other forms of transportation to wherever we're going to have other things making it. Because when we start getting into modular frames and all those rotor things and all that, we need to have assemblers. And I don't want to mix in the I'm not going to mix assemblers into this mess here, because this is going to be bad enough as it is right now. I mean, I'm already starting to lose some frames. I think I don't know, maybe. But yeah, that's and we'll need to explore and find a place to live and place to go and do all that. But for now, let's we got this thing back. We got this thing back. We got all those. We can now build the conveyor. We do all that. Now let's go over to tier 2. We've got this current milestone. We need to put in screws, this and this, and we have everything we need. So let's hello. Open. Do I have? Oh yeah, I already loaded it. That's right. Okay, we can. We don't have it in here right now. I thought we had. Okay, obstacle clearing, waiting for resources. Oh, okay. I was just in the wrong screen. That's all. All right, there's the big red button. We want to push it. We got to push the big red button. Launch pod. And now this sucker's going into space.
Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of
Woohoo!
burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood.
Alrighty.
Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
God. What did we get? We got more of that. And what was our other rewards? What can we make? What else can we make? Oh, we have to probably go over here to do it. Hold on. Let's see here. We can make a chainsaw. So to make a chainsaw, we need reinforced plating. We need this, which iron rods. We need screws, which we will have. And we will need cables, which we will have. We will have all of that. So we have 2 of 5 of that. We need to put those in here. We got that. I don't think I have anything else sitting around as far as those material. I do have the reinforced iron plating. And then we just need to go get screw. Oh, I just blocked off a major. Boy, okay. Is this happening? Screws are coming out. That's awesome. Screws are coming out. Iron rods are coming out. That's awesome. Iron platings are coming out. That's awesome. Wires coming out. Wires are coming out. And so are cables. Alright. And as you can see here, we got plenty of wire and cables going on. We are set for that stuff. Like I said, the 1500 was the biggest. I think we needed for the space elevator when we finally do it. It will be done at a later time, though. Okay, now we can craft... Oh, it's a 15-step process to make a frickin' chainsaw. Hello. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. And it needs fuel. How do we... Okay. How do we fuel this sucker? How do we equip, transfer, split? No. Can we not put just regular bio? We need to actually make the biofuel, huh? Oh, is it back already? What the hell was that? Holy shit! That thing's... Wow. Okay, solid biofuel. Okay. So we're going to use some of this. We're going to turn... Oh, there it goes. Now it's... Once it had some... So I've got a ton of this solid biofuel to be making out of this stuff to put into... and what's the thing on this one? 60 per minute. Okay. Well, now... Just give this a little bit of a little... Let's give it a taste of this thing. Oh! Woohoo! Look at that shit! Now, can we... That does not work. Okay, well, all we're doing is hurting ourselves! Ouch! Okay, well, good thing I have a bunch more of those... I love this. This is my new favorite toy. I bet you this works great on those things that are shooting fireballs at me, too. Yeah, awesome. Look at this shit. This is... Whee! What do I got on me now? I got a plenty... Okay, I got some good stuff. So, okay, that's going to be it for right now. We are going to work on some of the other stuff. I don't know where we're going to go next. Where are we going to go next? We are going to go probably to field research next, and logistics 2, and oh yes, this stuff. Oh yeah. We're going to skip this for the moment because we don't need it just yet. We're not ready for it yet. There's no sense in us wasting time on it. So we're going to go on the Tier 1. We're going to do the field research and Tier 2 logistics Mark 2. Because I want to speed up. I want to speed some of this shit up. We need to increase some speed on that. Speaking of increasing speed and overclocking and all that, I did find some more slugs in my little... I took a little stroll, and boy, there's some fun things on this planet we'll have to go check out. I got killed multiple times. Let's just say that there is a feature in this game where if you are afraid of certain things, it will turn it into something else that's less scary. That's all I'm going to say. So we will take a little trip and go find some things. I found a cave. I found a scary cave of nightmares, and it's, oh boy, wow. So yeah, that's coming. Again, if you're liking what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Just leave me some comments. Tell me how horrible I'm doing at playing this game, and if you really like what I'm doing and you want to see more, consider buying some merchandise from the stores, and links in the description. And buy me a coffee. There's a link for that too as well. Oh God, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye bye.